but for the 1-year anniversary of the 10 Frame Theater, of course, we're going to pull out all the stops and talk about some of the stuff that's more interesting this week maybe than others. But for the end of the show, I think we can ease into just the cartoon news as it is. So why don't we do that? We had the beginning of the August, well, not the beginning of the August season, just the beginning of the fall coming up pretty soon. So while I don't really have anything as far as like new releases coming out just yet, I do have some stuff for new stuff that may be interesting to talk about. The first one has to do with kind of a follow-up to a story from, I think it was a couple weeks ago, wherever it was, with the whole DreamWorks buying Classic Media thing. And that is what's first on the chopping block tonight. Because when Classic Media was bought by DreamWorks, it kind of made people wonder why they actually did it. And I know I speculated that it was because DreamWorks is just trying to create themselves as a competitor to Disney, but I also found out that DreamWorks is actually having like lowered production success. Less people buying their DVDs, lower sales than they had in previous years. So this expansion, by trying to buy out Classic Media and having lots of different outlets for income, is trying to expand their business out more than just making movies. You have to have more than that. You also have to have income coming in from old cartoons that you bought, and amusement parks, and movie theaters, and public performances. Basically everything that Disney already does. So that's why they bought that. And it doesn't look like they're going to be doing anything particularly groundbreaking with it, but moving into the next story, they are going to be doing something with the fact that they bought all of the Classic Media stuff, which again is everything from Casper the Friendly Ghost to He-Man to VeggieTales and lots of little stuff in between there. But since they bought it, and since they have access to TV stations, they're going to have a 6-hour marathon coming up soon. Once they have acquired all of those different films and everything, now they have an excuse to air them on TV, because, of course, when you have it, you want people to watch it. So, coming up on October 21st, a lot of those Classic Media films are going to be aired in a marathon format, and you will get a chance to see them on TV for however long the first time it's been since they've aired. It's not really stuff that you would have seen like excessively back in the day, but it is stuff that's not really difficult to come by. So I can't really imagine this being like the big groundbreaker for we bought Classic Media. No, not at all. But it will give DreamWorks a chance to say that we're here and we have a plan to diversify ourselves a little bit more. So if you want to see some classic films coming to television, look for it on October 21st. It's going to be a blast. Now, the next one of our stories, because let's shift away from DreamWorks for a little bit here, just move away from that, has to do with a new feature coming out. Which I'm pretty sure I've seen the title for this before, but apparently they're making a stop-motion film out of it. There is a new film called Toys in the Attic, so there's a new film to be looking forward to. I know for like the last couple of months we've had like the same films that we all knew were coming out. It's like, okay, we got Epic, we got Paranorman, which you should totally check out, we got Wreck-It Ralph. So finally we have a little more to diversify which films are coming out. And this one, Toys in the Attic, is going to be interesting from the looks of it. The fact that it's in stop motion has me intrigued already, because we've had a lot of stop motion films in the past year, pretty much. I don't know if I could say it's making a comeback or if it's like on the rise, but with the less popularity of hand-drawn 2D film and the increase in CGI films, it seems like people have opened themselves up more to the option that non-2D entertainment can be successful as well. I mean, back when 2D was all the rage, you saw stop motion and claymation as the alternatives. It was the weird, edgy, and quirky, and kind of bizarre style that only the hipster students from downtown were using. But nowadays, that 2D really isn't prominent anymore. It's really not the dominant force anymore. 2D's reign has effectively died. It may come back again someday, but for now it's just dead. But for now, having a hand-drawn animation be replaced by CG and stop-motion is kind of an interesting thing. Now, whether or not that will affect how good the movies actually are kind of depends on, well, I guess it depends on what you watch and if you like it or not. I will probably go see more of the stop-motion films coming out because at least they're not Shrek sequels. Oh, did I just say that? Yes, I did. Well, before I get myself killed, I will transition over to the last story for the night. It's a bit of a faster night than I thought. Yes, I will see Paranorman, and so will you. I'm America, and so can you. But this last story for the night actually has me really, really excited. Kind of excited. Just sort of something that brings to mind good news from a couple years ago. You know all those direct-to-video movies that have been coming out that seem to just filter store shelves and makes... Well, it makes money, but it doesn't have any merit. It's like candy where it's there, but it doesn't have any actual nutrition to it. Well, thankfully, we are coming up on the end of the reign at Warner Brothers for their direct-to-DVD sales. Because they are effectively shutting down the direct-to-DVD division, excluding their DC animated films, Scooby-Doo, and Tom and Jerry. So those three titles are still getting directed video releases, which would make sense for DC, because DC makes a lot of really good stuff, some more than even their comics, actually, and it doesn't need to be shut down. That needs more money, actually. In fact, that needs theatrical releases, if anything. Yeah, everyone's like, oh, thank God the DC films are safe. That's all we care about. I know that's all I cared about, too. I could really care less for the Scooby-Doo or Tom and Jerry releases, mostly because with Scooby-Doo, it's the same story over and over again. You just change the setting that you're in. It's like Air Buddies at this point. So, it's not really like anyone's clamoring for another Scooby-Doo film or anything like that. I'm sure it's entertaining to some people like time wasters. I mean, it's certainly not offensive or anything, but I care for it. Well, it's still going, so you don't have to worry about that. And Tom and Jerry's, no, just stop. Tom and Jerry should have just stopped at theatrical cartoons back with Hanna-Barbera, back in MGM. You can stop now. You can stop with those. Let that be. Pretty please stop it now. But you're not going to. You're not going to listen to me. You're going to keep showing Tom and Jerry for the rest of eternity. And there's going to be Tom and Jerry renditions of every famous film out there. Like they just had the Wizard of Oz film. Wizard of Oz / Tom and Jerry film come out. But, oh well. Ah well. No, you probably cannot top Zombie Island. That will forever be the watermark as far as good Scooby-Doo films go. And that's probably the problem. We had really strong beginning films like the Zombie Island or the Witch's Ghost, and it had Tim Curry in it. Or even the Cyber Chase, which is fun because they actually... Okay, they ripped off Tron, but still, this is a lot of fun to watch. Not so much anymore, so I don't really care for continuation of the Scooby-Doo franchise. But anyways, that's not what the story is supposed to say. Every other franchise that Warner Bros. Has been releasing DVD releases for will not be done anymore. They're effectively shutting it down. And like I said before, this reminds me of when Disney shut down their Lasseter shut down their Disney sequel scam that they had going on in the thousands. And that did not make anyone happy. So when Lasseter shut it down in the, I think it was like 2006 or something like that, everyone was happy, and we all celebrated, and we were all glad that the terror had finally ended. So hopefully this terror will end with Warner Bros. Shutting this down as well. And I can't imagine that this will make many people upset. I mean, how many people will be clamoring for like, no, I love direct-to-video movies that are not DC, Scooby-Doo, or Tom and Jerry at all, but... well, what do I know? I'm just the commentator of all the things that happened in the world. But that's all about all that happened in the world of cartoons for this particular week. Again, like I said last week, there's a lot of premieres coming up soon, and that will get more attention as the weeks come by. I know that you should definitely check out the How to Train Your Dragon series, probably check out the TMNT series, and I'm sure there's more stuff out there I'm just not listing off the top of my head. But as far as new stuff coming out, oh, that's another one too. Mysteries Inc. is getting another season too. And for the first season I saw, it was much more interesting than the original Scooby-Doo. Sort of it feels almost fan-fiction-ish, like someone said, what would happen if they were in a realistic setting, but then they made it a little more smarter than that. So keep an eye on that as well. But again, go check out what other cartoons are coming out this season as well. And as for this week, not really that eventful, just kind of stuff. I think everyone's summer is coming to a close, so we're all just enjoying our last weeks of summer vacation before we have to go back to school. So, until then, thank you all, and thank you for, by the way, do you like the outfit? I like the outfit. I like the ruffles on it too. Just all very good. So, bye!